chairs before. We'll start with a question to all three of you, and then we'll go to a couple of individual ones before opening the floor. The first one is about ATHLOS in itself. It's a women's only event. It's a fantastic showcase of female athleticism. For all of you, I'll start with you, Masai. How does it feel to be part of an event that is solely dedicated to celebrating female athletes?
Yeah, I think it's honestly an honor to be here, to be amongst the fastest women in the world, and to consider myself one of the fastest women. I'm blessed, I'm thankful, and I just truly feel empowered. And the fact that Alexis took it out of the time of his day and his life to put something on like this for us, and of course his team, to do something like this for us is definitely great. Like I said, I feel empowered, I'm blessed, and I'm just glad that we're on the brink of history, just because I feel like the quote women in sports and women in, just like empowering women in sports is like, it's so talked about now, but I think like in the next like 10 years to come, it's just gonna be like, it is. Like, it's not even gonna be anything that we're fighting for or rooting for, it's just gonna be what it is. So I'm blessed, I'm thankful, and I feel so empowered.
Fantastic, thanks so much. And Grace, what do you think?
Yeah, last year I watched it online on YouTube, so it was super cool to see all the women competing, and I was so inspired. So to be here this year is just super exciting. I'm just so blessed to be here, and I just think, all the young women at home and the kids and stuff are just going to be so excited to be watching all this, and it's going to be truly inspiring.
Alexis, you're nodding along, right?
Yeah. I mean, I agree with what both of these women said. I think for me, growing up, it was really important to have role models that looked like me. It inspired me to be the athlete that I am today, and so it's amazing that ATHLOS has given us a platform and like a space to feel celebrated and feel beautiful and powerful, and so I feel really blessed to be a part of it again.
Thank you guys so much. Masai, you had an absolute fairy tale of a season last year, coming away with the Olympic title. You set an American record earlier this year. World Championships didn't quite go as planned. How important is it for you to show up, to have this opportunity to go out there and show the world what you're made of in New York at ATHLOS?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, every time I compete, I just want to do my best. I want to do, what I'm called to do, and that's just to compete, to show up, and to just be myself. So however that looks tomorrow, I mean, we're at the end of the season. I pray that it's something great. World Champs didn't go the way that, everyone expected for it to go, but that's sports, that's the name of the game, and that's the job. Like, that's what happens. And track is very unforgiving, and, it's just how you get up and how you stand up. And I'm a very relentless person, and, it's not about how, I don't want to be defined by my last competition. I feel like I had a really great season, like you said, broke the American record, ran 12-1 twice. So, I just want to go out there and do what I've been doing all year, and just show up as my best self.
Alexis, you talked about there the importance of inspiring. You've become such a trusted relay anchor, and you show up every single time. How do you stay composed with all of that when you know the pressure's on you to deliver?
You know what? I think that's kind of what makes the anchor maybe the easiest job, because you have a lot of adrenaline, and of course, your teammates are depending on you, and so I just kind of embrace that. I do love the relays, it's a lot of fun, and so I just embrace it.
And Grace, you talked about kind of the inspiration, this side of things, and having watched it last year. What would you say, or what would your message be to younger athletes to kind of take away from your story and coming away with that bronze medal this year in Tokyo?
Yeah, I just hope to inspire the young women. Just being here is just a great opportunity to do that. I love racing, I love competing, so just to be here and just inspire young people and just compete against these amazing women, I'm just excited.
I've got one quick question before I open the floor up. If you could each describe what fans should expect from ATHLOS this year in one word, what would it be?
I would have to say exhilarating for my one word.
Oh, I just have to say exciting. I don't know, I'm super excited, so I hope people at home are super excited.
I think they are. And for you, Alexis?
I would say inspiration. I think the most heartwarming part of the event last year was seeing like all the little girls excited to meet us at the end of the race, and so I'm really looking forward to that this year.
I think we all are. Open up the floor. Questions for our three athletes here. I'll start here in the front.
Fitzroy Dunkley, Jumpers World, and this question is for Masai Russell. So, Masai, you built a strong presence off the track and social media. You were actually one of the first big track and field athletes in the NIL thing. Even before NIL, you were doing it big. How do you decide what to share and what to keep private when you're thinking about your social media stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I've always just shown my life, so whatever makes sense. I don't really think about like what I'm not gonna show. I just think, I just kind of post whatever I want to in that moment, and it's just whatever is on the page is on the page. It's not really much thought that goes into it. So I've been blessed that people have wanted to come along and watch the journey, because there's no really strategic plan when it comes to my social media. It's just like whatever you see is what you get.
Any more questions?
This one's from Grace Star. So Grace, obviously we talked earlier this year, FloTrack again, Jumpers World. Grace, what was your mindset going into that finals, knowing that, there were so many names, everybody, that's one of the hottest events, obviously, of the year. What was your mindset going into that finals, knowing that you wanted to come out with some hardware? This is your second year pro out of Florida, and this was one of your first major finals.
Yeah, it's a dogfight every time we step on the line. There's so many amazing women that I get to compete against. So, I just try to stay composed and focus on my lane. And it's me and 10 hurdles, and that's what I worry about.
Another question there at the back, gentlemen.
Hi, Zach Coon, Sports Illustrated. For Masai and Alexis in particular, you were here at ATHLOS last year. Is there anything that's changed in the build-up from year one to year two from your perspective?
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to tell right now at this very moment, just because I haven't gone to the track or seen the track, seen the setup. The biggest difference that I've noticed just getting to the hotel was just like, the check-in desk and, everything is just a little more like a meet, like how, we're used to competing on the circuit. Like, we're getting the credentials and just getting everything that's like more like structured like a meet. But like I said, it's kind of hard to compare like the whole entire event to last year, just because I haven't competed yet and I haven't been to the track yet.
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest thing I noticed is the support that we're getting going into the meet. I think a lot of people saw how successful it was last year and how much fun it was, so there's a lot more support, and I'm excited to see, how that affects how many people show up, for sure.
Any more questions? This one, yeah. Yes, on the right, thanks.
Hi, Rich Sands, Track and Field News. This is for anyone who wants to answer. I'm curious how you approach this meet, what you've been doing the last 3 weeks since Worlds ended. Like, how did you decompress from that meet and get ready for this one?
Well, from what I've heard, most people took a couple days off afterwards, just like you said, decompress, kind of rest our body and our mind. But going into training, it's the same mentality. Of course, this is a really fun event, but it's also still a track meet, and we're all competitors. So I'm sure everybody tried to prepare the best they could, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Alexis. I took a couple days off just to mentally reset, because at this point in this season, the work has been done, the work has been put in. Like, I've been training since November, been competing since January. So, at this point, there's nothing much that we're like gaining. And, for me, like I said, I just kind of decompressed. So yeah, I just went back to work, went back to training, and, just wanted to approach this meet as still as a competition. Like, yeah, we're having fun. It's the last meet of the season. But yeah, it's still a track meet, and I still want to show up as my best self.
There was another question, I think. Up here, front.
That's the last one. It's Red and Clay, Jumpers World, and this one's for Alexis. Alexis, you've had some big moments in the 4x4. As a former 4x4 relay runner myself, I know that it's different mindsets going into the individual and the relay. What do you think about when you're thinking about your 400, which I know that's the main thing. I know you've had those great relay moments. What do you think about different when you're going into your 400 compared to when you're going to those 4x4 relays?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference going into the 400 is that you're kind of on your own, like on your own island, right? So in that sense, it can be a little bit more intimidating. I think I'm still trying to find my footing in the open 400. Obviously this year didn't go as planned. I had some injuries and things that came up, but I'm a competitor. I always show up even when I'm not my best self, and so I know my time is going to come eventually. I'm excited for next year, and yeah.
A question here, yeah, up front there.
Hi, Radha Delche, AFP. It's a question for all three athletes. ATHLOS is set to turn into a league next year. I'm wondering what you're expecting out of that.
yeah, I don't really know what to expect. We were literally just talking about it outside before we walked up. So I think it'll be new and fun for us all just because they've set the standard from this year to last year, just like how the meets have been run. So it's going to be cool to see it in like a league format. And yeah, I'm just excited to see because I'm just as excited as y'all.
Yeah, like she said, we were talking about it outside earlier. I'm excited for it. I haven't really heard too much about it, but I love to see like all the things track and field and how the sport's expanding.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. Of course, I hope to be a part of it. I think they do a great job taking care of us from the time we touch down here to the time we leave and even after that. So I would love to be a part of that ATHLOS League for sure.
And I think we've got the opportunity later to ask some questions to Alexis and Tara specifically about that because they'll be able to share some more. Any more questions here in the back? There's one.
Hi, Jen Kling from Campaign. ATHLOS has done an amazing job of putting athletes at the center, which is probably my favorite part. I just love that it's prioritizing women athletes. As you think about all the different experiences that have come your way from this league, what are some of the things you'd love to see in the future as you kind of co-create and co-build with Alexis and team?
Yeah, I think for me, the stuff that we've been doing here, it's just very, we talk about it's like called glam. It's very glamorized and it feels very professional and fun. So it's exciting to experience that and you kind of feel a little bit more important and like your sport is really recognized. So something with that and keep that going is really fun.
You want to hear from us all?
Everybody. Full squad.
I'm just excited to just see how much like this league just continues to grow. Just continuing to push women in sports and just giving us these platforms and just making us athletes the center of these events and making sure that we're treated like professional athletes, we're getting catered to like professional athletes, we're getting paid like professional athletes, all these different things that go into just making what like a professional should be, honestly. So I'm blessed, I'm thankful to just continuing to be a part of all these different new avenues in track and field, especially this one because we're all women and we're just continuing to empower each other.
Yeah, I think they pretty much hit the nail on the head with all the points they said. I think for me, maybe just more interaction with the fans would be really cool. I'm from Connecticut, so New York is like a second home. So yeah, that would be awesome to see.
Thank you.
Great. Any more questions? If not, yeah, here's one in the front. One microphone. You're right there. Thank you.
Hi ladies.
Hey,
Hey girl. Nisha Coleman from ESPN Landscape. What advice do you have to younger athletes that are transitioning from college and going into pro and stepping into this new glamorous spot? Like, what advice do you have to give to them to get to their dreams too?
I think for me, this is like my first year, so it's just try to stay true to yourself and just stay focused. Just carry that same momentum that you had in college in the professional world. It got you there, so just keep it.
Yeah, for me, I would say to just continue to believe in yourself, believe in why you are where you're at. If you've done really good in college, then you can have the opportunity to run professional. So I think that, just belief will take you super far, but beyond like what you could ever imagine. So, yeah, just to believe in yourself and yeah, whatever got you there, keep doing it. Like Grace said.
My advice would be to give yourself grace. I know, just speaking for me personally, the transition from college to pro is like a huge difference, just in terms of how much of yourself you really have to put into it. It's a lot of long days. I always tell people it's like my 9 to 5, and then even after that, you're still preparing for the next day and the next competition. So yeah, just giving yourself grace on the journey and just taking it one day at a time.
Thank you all three so much. Good luck tomorrow. We hope you'll have a great time. Thank you for joining us. We'll move on with our next group of athletes. But
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.